Welcome to this Edgecam Workflow demonstration. During the next 3 to 5 minutes, I'd like to share with you the fixture management tools that we now see in Edgecam Workflow, particularly fixture avoidance. When we're applying toolpaths, we'd like to see how Edgecam reacts to the fixture placement and safely manoeuvres around the fixtures that are in place. So let's start by setting the component up. We've got a default date and position on the top left of the part, and I'd now like to add the stock before adding the fixture. So if we add the stock command, we'll see there we get some default sizes. I'd like to add a little bit of material to clean up on this part, so we'll make the stock 275 by 225. If we render the stock, we can now see that we've got plenty of material to clean up both in the X and the Y axis. Before we move on, I'd just like to move the datum up to the top corner of the stock. Using the component setup panel, we'll now see that we can make the datum relative to stock and the part repositions automatically. If we have a look inside the fixture database that comes with Edgecam, we can see that we've got an array of vices here in the list, and we can preview these vices as we move down the list. I'd like to go for the first vice at a rotation angle of 0, and we can select the vice. Now let's move ahead and place the part on a machine tool. So once the part's in place on the machine tool, you can see graphically that that's correct. But as I said previously, I'd like to focus on the fixture avoidance features that we see inside Edgecam. So next, now move ahead and we'll have a look at adding some features to the component. In our case here, I want to concentrate on the outside of the part, so I'm just going to look for 2D bosses, and then we'll move ahead and apply toolpath. So we see that we're presented with the 2D boss around the outside of the part. I'd now like to move ahead and rough and finish the part. If we use the machine feature command, we can elect to rough, finish, or both. Just to make this more visible, I'd like to rough and finish individually. So we'll select the roughing option, and now the feature. What we'll see once the toolpath has been calculated is how the cycle automatically avoids the outside of the part. So we'll see here we're leading on, moving around the part and stepping over the vice jaw before re-entering the part on the opposite side. So automatically there, Edgecam has detected the position of the vice jaws and safely navigated around those jaws. Okay, so let's move ahead to the finishing. So this time we'll finish the outside of the part. We'll select the same feature again, and now we'll see that we profile around the part, leading on and stepping over the vice jaw and moving on to the other side. Okay, so we've seen an element of intelligence there with the avoidance, and let's now have a look what happens if we start to manipulate the fixture position. So what I'd like to do now is go back to the initial setup, and we might want to change the fixture position for a secondary operation, for example, to clean up the remaining material on the part. So let's select the vice again, and this time the loading position will be at 90. So we can see we're now gripping the part down the X-axis. We'll select the fixture, and when we move back into the machining area of workflow, we'll now see that Edgecam has detected a fixture change. So what we'll automatically see is that the toolpaths have updated respecting the new fixture position. So this time we're cleaning up material all the way down the X-axis while stepping over the material that we see in the Y, and this is due to the new clamping positions on the vise. So that's the new fixture avoidance command with inside Edgecam Workflow. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please stay tuned for further videos on Edgecam Workflow.